What's happening? It's Larry Loudpack bringing you the latest in cannabis news and culture. In here with my man Malik, the manager.
Fuego News, thought you knew that.
And this is Fuego News. Let's get it. A double homicide in Houston, Texas led detectives to a large illegal grow in southern Oregon, with the suspect still on the loose. The suspect lived in Houston and was a part owner in the grow operation discovered in Oregon. The two victims were his business partners in the grow and the owner of the property where the grow was located. While investigating the homicide in Houston, police found 200 pounds of flour, 10 pounds of hash oil, and about $40,000 in cash. Once they looked into the origin of the products, it prompted Oregon's illegal marijuana enforcement team to get involved. The IMET's investigations led them to the property in Jackson County, Oregon, where they discovered a large grow facility equipped with greenhouses and multiple indoor grow rooms. At the site, they found about 1,000 plants, another 300 pounds of flour, 2 firearms, and $10,000 in cash. The suspect has still not been found, and the ongoing search is combining efforts between Homeland Security, local police departments, Oregon Water Resources Department, and other agencies. They brought the whole squad out.
Rogue Valley got some stuff going on in regards to their grow operations and how many illegal grow operations they've been finding over there.
Yeah.
What I came to find out is Danny Lars Risdall,
Yeah.
vice president of Letterman.
Oh, is he one of the guys who just died?
Yes, he is one of the victims.
Oh, what's his last name?
Risdall, Ryssdal. My apologies if I'm enunciating that incorrectly.
I know the other victim was Martin.
Yes.
His last name's Martin, right?
Yes.
And that guy was for sure a 50% owner in Rogue Valley. That's what
Yes.
I read.
It sounds like a deal gone bad. Or I can see a situation of a dude just standing on his morals and not wanting to pay somebody.
What I thought was he was probably invested in that illegal grow, which he was. He was a part owner in that illegal grow.
Possibly.
35-year-old Dana Lars Risdall from Oregon. That was a part owner in the actual illegal grow. And then 37-year-old James Gerald Martin owned the property that they were growing on. He was the other victim. I don't know how much he had to do with the actual grow or if he was just renting the property to them. But what we do know is the guy who owned the property, James Gerald Martin, was for sure a 50% owner in Rogue Valley Cannabis.
Facts.
And you're saying the other guy, Dana Lars Risdall, was vice president for Letterman.
Co-owner of Letterman.
Wow.
I mean, co-founder.
Co-founder of Letterman, vice president of Letterman.
Yes, sir. So we do have record of them actually being with one another and actually being together. There's a photo of them right here. So with that, and it was on Risdall's Instagram.
They're for sure homies.
Definitely.
The guy who they actually arrested and brought to jail was just the guy who was taking care of the plants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He wasn't responsible for the shit.
It'd always be the guy who really just doing the least. The bill to legalize medical cannabis in Tennessee died in the Senate Judiciary Committee last week. This is the second cannabis-related legislation to be rejected during the session, after a measure to add 3 cannabis poll questions to general election ballots in 2024 was also struck down last week. Many people are protesting the lack of medical cannabis support, citing the 2 neighboring states of Arkansas and Mississippi that both have medical cannabis programs. Their other neighbor, Kentucky, is also proposing their own medical bill this year. Tennessee has one more active medical cannabis bill that could be considered by lawmakers this year, which will probably be their last hope to put it into law this year.
This goes back to talking about them southern states and just that ideology behind it. They really have, conservative minds? Is that the word?
Very.
And they don't see the benefits of it, knowing that times are freaking changing. Isn't there more states legal now than there is like states without weed?
There's more states with medical than
That's
states
what I care
that
about,
aren't,
yeah.
But there's only 21 rec right now.
That's still a good amount.
Yeah, that's still a lot. That's almost half.
Shout out Kerry Roberts for being the one vote behind it.
Facts. Pretty much all of this that we're talking about is tying into Christianity. You're not going to change a rule in the Bible for a lot of these people.
Nope. I want to ask them, what do they think that burning bush was?
And why was he next to it for so long?
In the mountains.
Yeah.
Right, where cannabis is grown.
Didn't he start talking to it?
If I'm not mistaken.
He might have had a conversation with that bush.
He said he had a conversation with the burning bush.
They was walking around with long hair and sandals. Yeah. Y'all gonna act like they wasn't
blowing.
They wasn't burning the bush.
Nah, definitely burning the bush.
Now. You know what I just realized too? They said they walked 40 days and 40 nights. They was probably walking about 3 hours. Them niggas was high as hell.
40 days and 40 nights?
Parched. They was 40 days and 40 nights, no water. After the burning bush, that was a
They was high.
That was a 2.5 hour walk. But they're not going to change their ways. And a lot of the times when real ideology changes happen as a whole, it's because a whole generation died out.
Exactly.
It's not because they changed their mind.
With all due respect, that's all that's going to have to happen.
Bill Gates has been pushing population reduction for a while. So if we do have to get rid of a few, who should go first? I'm just saying, if we had to choose, who do you think?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm just asking your opinion because you were saying...
Nah. You're the one that asked the question. So you kind of, that thought has been in your head.
I mean, first we have to get rid of straight white males, right? So they all have to go.
Oh, okay. Now we're talking.
Travis Kelce can stay. But we're going to get rid of the most straight white males.
I don't think they're straight, bro.
Oh, Travis?
No, I don't think these males that...
Clip it. You got it right here. He doesn't think Travis Kelce's straight.
No, wow.
We're sending this to Travis. Police are searching for a woman suspected in an armed robbery of a dispensary in Palm Springs. Police responded to a report of shots being fired inside a dispensary around 9:30 a.m. last Thursday. But when they arrived, the suspect was nowhere to be found. The woman allegedly entered the dispensary wearing a black mask and latex gloves, holding a pistol. And when the security guard approached her, she fired a round towards the ground. The guard then wrestled the gun away from her before she fled the scene. Police are now processing her gun for DNA evidence, and they're still searching for the woman. She's described as build.
Damn, you ain't got to give them the whole description, folks.
We can cut it. Hey,
you
man.
ain't have to do that.
We're cops.
No, we're not.
We're not going to help find her?
No. Times is tough. You know how much it take for a 5'8" woman to go into a dispensary with a gun.
That's the funny part.
That's courage.
This is spring breakers.
She probably got kids, bro.
She didn't do nothing. She came in with the gun. She fired a round off, and he took her gun. She didn't.
Of course, she didn't do nothing. She probably 120, 110, soaking wet.
He was like, "All right, stop playing around."
You know what I'm saying?
Hand that over. And then she just ran away because he took her gun.
So times is tough in California, folks.
I don't think she got any merchandise or money or anything, and she basically walked in there and got her gun taken.
9:30 a.m.
in the morning, bro. She was struggling.
She was up,
bro,
and at it.
You got
that was a scheme she plotted the night before. All right, look,
you think she was still up tweaking?
She didn't get her bag. She still got to get her shit.
She was described as a methy build.
That's what you said.
Yeah, that's the new description.
That's the new description? This dude's a nutcase.
She's got a methy build, 5'8".
What's up with you and insulting people,
red hair.
Let's talk. Are you okay?
She walked in a dispensary trying to rob the place, and they robbed her of her gun.
Facts.
So I'm going to clown you. Don't do that and not think you getting clowned.
I'm showing the sympathy and the empathy side of this.
You thinking she got to feed her kids and shit. I'm thinking she got to get some rocks. And she now does not have a gun.
Because only crackheads have this much courage.
Bro, at 9:30 in the morning, woke up. Think about it. If you go... Bro, if you go to the store at 9:30 in the morning, you see somebody in there full cart like they grocery shopping, that's a little psychotic. That's a similar thing. You robbing dispensaries at 9:30 in the morning
is crazy.
They just opened 30 minutes ago. They didn't even make no money yet today.
Old people and tweakers?
And I didn't see any tweakers, but they might have indoor tweakers.
I haven't seen any tweakers like that in Palm Springs.
When it's
I'm not out there like
15,
that,
it's 115 degrees, 120 degrees.
They ain't shit around these dispensaries. So you're running into nothing.
Oh, true, because I've been to a dispensary in Palm Springs.
You're running into... Where are you going?
They got to have their own variant of tweakers. They got indoor air-conditioned tweakers because it's 120 degrees. That meth cranks you up about 10 more degrees. That's 130 degrees. You're done. Oklahoma overwhelmingly rejected recreational cannabis in all 77 of its counties, supported by the large Christian community whose slogan was, "Don't California our Oklahoma." Many faith-based advocacy groups led large campaigns against the bill, putting ads on newspapers and billboards that urged Oklahomans to vote no on recreational weed. The vote came down to 62% no votes and 38% yes votes, and did not get approved by any of the 77 counties. Oklahoma's medical program has been so unregulated that it's almost felt like recreational recreational, given the nearly 10,000 grow facilities erected since the medical program began in 2018, compared to California's 6,800 grows for recreational and medical in a much more populous state. That combined with the lack of metric tracking made Oklahoma the Wild West of weed for years, and most likely left a bad taste in the mouth of the local faith groups.
We just had this conversation right before, so good job with the segue.
Yep.
Religion gives people faith, like purpose, creates a role in society, right?
Feel like there's a reason for everything.
Yeah. Now, when people is paying tithes, how much of that money actually goes back to them?
To the church?
Yeah.
Well, the pastor needs a Rolls Royce. He's a godly man. He can't have anything.
He had a Rolls? Just because it has an angel.
Pastor needs a Rolls. Yeah, it's an angel on the hood. That's a godly car. It's a pastor car.
Pastor got to be fresh.
So that got to get written off, of course.
All
we
right,
got to write that off. Then he needs some really fresh, like Armani suits. He can't just have a regular suit. He
Armani.
needs some really fresh, really nice suits.
Armani?
Oh, yeah, we're doing Armani. We're doing like Hugo Boss suits. We're doing real nice suits. These are 5-rack suits.
Okay.
Yeah.
He might have a couple of Gucci suits.
We got to write that off.
Okay, the shades too? You doing shades?
You're going to let the sun get in the eyes of this godly man?
Yeah, no, because the Rose got blinds.
But you still need shades in case he gets out.
So
he can't see the word of the Lord if he has sun in his eyes.
He can't look up at the Lord. You're right. He can't do that.
No, you got to be able to look up to the
He'll
Lord.
Be blinded if you look at the Lord, huh?
And you need the right polarized, like Gucci, some Louis shades or something.
Right.
For that. Yeah. So you can't. It all makes sense. You got to write all that off.
Mm-hmm. Isn't there something in the Bible that actually says you're supposed to like take from the fruits of the earth?
It do say that.
We just so happen to set on fire.
These are ideologies that aren't going to change just because you're telling somebody the benefits of it. I'm sure that medical program did not help them with them being okay with recreational. They saw how crazy things got with the amount of grows that were around them. They were smelling weed all the time. It wasn't like it was a low key, like it was a well-regulated, well-done thing.
And it's only medical.
Yes, and that's going to be pushing people away from being open to the idea of recreational because they just saw how this medical went.
That's so wild, too, the fact that it's only medical right now and they have that many dispensaries and that many grow cultivations.
It's insane. Not even 4 million people in Oklahoma, in the state of Oklahoma. There are about 20 million people in just L.A. Don't California or Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Y'all got California'd.
Yeah.
Biden proposed to continue blocking cannabis sales in D.C. for the third time in a row, despite his so-called new approach to cannabis. D.C. voters have voted to approve recreational cannabis multiple times since 2014, but the program has still not been implemented due to the president's refusal to lift the D.C. cannabis provision. This provision prevents the district from using local tax dollars to implement a system of adult-use marijuana sales, and this is the third time President Biden's proposed budget would block D.C. from spending funds to commercialize marijuana. The bill, in its defense, will also protect state-level medical programs and federal hemp programs from Justice Department intervention. A provision signed by DC's mayor also allows adults to self-certify as medical marijuana patients without a doctor's recommendation in an attempt to circumvent the restrictions that many disagree with. The mayor tried to get around that one.
Man.
Shout out the mayor.
So you go in and you can either do it in person, you can do it online, or do it via mail.
Okay.
And basically what you're doing is you got to be 21 years or older. You may self-certify on their patient application that they will only use cannabis purchased from a DC licensed dispensary for medical purposes.
So now you can kind of just sign up. It's pretty much how Cali used to be. It was all medical back in 2015, whenever.
And you can just go and get your medical license.
It was so easy to get your medical card. I got a medical card for California while I was still physically in Oregon.
Wanted one.
Bro, I was in the airport. No, I was going to Cali. I was actually going to Palm Springs.
Okay.
And I wanted to go to this dispensary that sold Bearwoods. Back when
the Bearwoods was a thing.
In California, it was still, you had to either be a medical or a recreational dispensary.
Yeah.
So I had to get my medical card, and I was in the Oregon airport, and I went online, looked up, like my homie sent me a link or some shit. Mm-hmm. I went on the thing, signed up. Within 15 minutes, a doctor called me and was asking me a couple questions, and they emailed me my shit, and I paid online. I paid like $30. And I had a California medical card real quick.
That's crazy.
And I just had it on my phone. They emailed me my thing.
It's just crazy even seeing the administration actually bringing recognition to it too.
And Biden has the power still to basically get rid of that provision.
He's been baiting us for the past how many years?
They kind of keep the carrot dangling in front of your head, right? They kind of he keeps on throwing little things out there. He'll go on camera being like, no American should be in jail for weed. You thinking all these people get released, like 6,500 people get their charges cleared, not actually released. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, do all them things. Fuego.
Boom!